Good morning, and thank you for tuning in to another edition of Pre-Market PulseScan. Today is Tuesday, June the 27th, 2017, and the time is 8:54 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today is my little man, who is now big man's birthday. He just turned 10 years old. So we will be traveling out of town to celebrate, and it's going to be fun. It's a good day. It's a good day if you are alive and well, but it's not a good day if you are long the cryptocurrencies. Let's take a look and see what is happening today in the cryptos. We're going to start our day off with that. All right. As you should be able to see now, if you look at my screen, you will see that Ethereum is in the lead right now, number one, with 1.15 billion in volume. Bitcoin is second at 638.86 million. Litecoin third at 387.02 million. And Ethereum right now is down over 9% this morning. Bitcoin down almost 2%, and Litecoin is down almost 7%. These are some startling moves. All right, can't overlook that. Got to deal with it. These are massive moves. If you were paying attention and listening, like your parents used to tell you, you need to listen. You need to follow instructions. Well, if you were listening and following instructions and trading these markets and not being married to them, you would have been long out of this market, pun intended. You would either be selling it short, or you would be on the sidelines waiting for your next entry once the carnage is over. You should not be holding long positions when the market is down 9%. What are you doing? This isn't physical gold and silver, people. These are cryptocurrencies. They are trading assets. You can day trade them, swing trade them, position trade them, but they're tradable instruments. All right? It's not gold and silver. It's not stacking. All right? When you buy a gold or silver coin or a bar, you do not care about the paper price. You hold that stuff until you need to liquidate. That's the traditional way of stacking. The new age way of stacking is you hold into infinity, even if you need the money. Because what you do when you need cash is you go into the paper markets and you trade the paper market. That's how you accumulate your cash that you need, your emergency money. This way, you never, ever, ever, ever have to liquidate your physical holdings, people. I've told you that time and time again. The next time I tell you, I'm going to have to spank you for not listening. All right? Now, let's move on. Excuse me. I did bring up to you guys the information that's out about this whole thing coming up in August, with Bitcoin. Excuse me. Sort of like a split, if you will. It's very technical. And we still don't know how things are really going to play out because this is such a new thing. All right. So only thing I can tell you is, to the best of your ability, you need to keep a physical wallet. Don't have your wallet at some exchange. You need to have your own physical wallet and or what is called a paper wallet. Basically what you're doing is you're using the same technique that you do with your physicals. What's the rule with physicals, people? 1, 2, 3, all together now. If you don't hold it, you don't own it, right? If you can't touch it, you don't own it. All right? So, same thing applies with these coins, with the coinage. All right? The carnage in the coinage. You must hold your coins. All right? Hold your cryptocurrencies. Don't rely on some third-party wallet somewhere, on somebody's exchange. Exchanges can be hacked. We've seen it. All right? Your stuff can disappear. You don't want that. All right? You don't want that. So, with that being said, hold your coins, people. Now, at the end of the day, right now, it's like, what, 800 cryptos right now? Something like that? Some massive number? At the end of the day, I think it's going to be down to maybe, this is what I think. I think it's going to be like maybe 3 or 4. Well, I'll make it 5. I'll give you 5. At the end of the day, it's only going to be about 5 of these left standing. And I think it's going to be the Ethereum, the Bitcoin, the Litecoin, and this Veritasium of Reggie Middleton. I touched on this before too, with the Veritasium. Everyone's like, why do you think that's going to be so successful, blah, blah, blah. All right. I'm just going to give it to you like this. As you know, I don't endorse anything on my channel except for what I do. I know some people personally, and when people ask me about what do you think, I tell them the truth. If I know the person, I'll tell you I know them. If I know their work, I follow their work, I'll tell you this is their work, whatever. When it comes to Mr. Reggie Middleton, I've never met him before, but I have to be honest and truthful. I would be lying if I didn't say that I have not been following his work for a long time. If I was to categorize him, I would say, okay, he's not a trader. He's more of a, I don't know how to really, he's in a class by himself. He's more like he's a finance guy. But if I had to break it down, I would say he's more of an analyst, put it that way. He's an analyst like Peter Schiff. Except for, to be honest with you, I don't think Peter Schiff is in his league. I love Peter Schiff. Peter Schiff is great. But Reggie Middleton's in a class by himself. I'm not kidding. The man is a beast, all right, in the Wall Street circles, okay? I don't know if he still does this or not, but at some point he had a newsletter and a service similar to mine, basically. And I'm not gonna lie, guys. This stuff was top notch. It was over the top. He had institutional clients and things like that paying him for his newsletter and stuff. He had this thing with ETFs and stuff like that. I'm just being honest. His thing is more of like an econometric model. So he's that kind of an analyst. Like he can tell you everything about a stock. Like, you know, if you're interested in a stock, he can tell you who the CEOs were, the earnings, break down all the financials. You know, he's on that side of things. Okay. All right. So I'm just keeping it real on that side. You've seen him also on CNBC and Bloomberg and other places. And he'd been on a panel and he'd be the only one, basically, his predictions about whatever company would be right and everybody else would be wrong. I know y'all have seen that before. But I have not met him personally, so I can't speak on him personally. I can just tell you that his track record and what he does, I think he is he's untouchable in what he does. I've never met or followed another person's work like his. All right, his stuff is tight. I'm just putting it out there. All right, you can't take away someone's, you know, props. You know what I'm saying? So if he is involved in something, you can take it to the bank. He's done his research. He got the best and brightest minds he can find, and the man ain't gonna put his money to something that he knows is gonna be a straight up loser. So with that being said, I got the utmost respect for the man. Never met him, you know what I'm saying? But I just give credit to what credit's due. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't do what I do. What we do is two separate worlds, okay? He's not a trader, so he's not in my camp. But like I say, he's more of an analyst and he's good in what he does. So with that being said, when I looked into the whole Veritasium thing and I saw that this was his baby, I was like, oh, okay. So I looked into it. I did my research like you all should when you're looking at anything. And I realized that the idea that he had, I mean, I gotta keep it real with y'all. You know, I give it to you 100%. Keep it 100. I was blown away. Veritasium right now has the potential to overtake all of these, even the Ethereum itself, even though it uses the Ethereum. I'm just saying, people, you gotta look into it. And as it gets more, you know, notoriety, it gets noticed on major exchanges and become easier for people to trade and handle, I think it could definitely blow these out. You know, it could be the Amazon of this shortly. Okay, I'm just saying. It could also fail. Just keeping it real. You know, no one is above failure. But I got mad questions about that, so I'm just addressing it now. Excuse me, this pre-market post scam. Now, if we flip over here, you'll see that just like the rest of them, you know, his he's been under some pressure too. Now, it should be noted that he's up 10.31%. Excuse me. These prices are quoted in Ethereum, all right, or ethos, not dollars, all right? So this is what this is. So this is not 32 cents. This is 0.32 times the price that you see on the ethos, and then that's how you get your dollars, all right? So this still ain't cheap. It ain't 32 cents, folks. And it's up 10.31%, while the rest of these are down. Like Ethereum itself is down almost 9%, almost 10% itself. So Veritasium is rolling right now. Now, to keep it fair, some of these on here too is like this is up 16%. This ANS, all right. Volume's only 30 million. Here's one that's up 13%. Volume's only 28 million. So all things considered and being equal, you know, we're not talking, you know, big money, but this is a new thing. So this is impressive for this being a new thing. All right. And as we get more data, as this thing, you know, goes on and builds and builds, you know, I'm going to be following it. I did put it into the on the weekly pulse wave price trigger. So the system is following it now. And I'm going to tell you, everyone, just like I told you in the beginning, it's going to be choppy. It's going to be weird as this thing, you know, fixes itself out, you know, gets all the wrinkles and stuff out. Same thing for the rest of the crypto space. You still got to get a lot of the wrinkles out. The crypto thing is still relatively new, you know, and it really hasn't, you know, taken off the way that it could have. All right. Cryptos are getting popular now. They're finally talking about it on, you know, the business channels when they've been ignoring it now for the last several years. Now they're starting to talk about it. So as this catches on more and more, trust and believe, this volume is definitely going to continue to rise. And I'll be honest, this is some impressive volume. You can't ignore the volume in the top three here. All right, so with that being said, people, these are tradable markets. These are not something that you just buy and hold forever. Unless when you got in, you bought them when they were at a penny. All right, if you bought yourself 1 million shares when it was trading under a penny, all three of these, then you know what? By all means, you can hold on as long as you want. But just keep in mind, it still can go to zero. A cryptocurrency can go to zero. They can fail. They're not immune to all the other factors of anything that's on a tradable exchange. All right? Things can go to zero. They sure can. Especially when we're talking about any type of fiat currencies and, you know, cryptos. Yes, they're no different than a fiat. All right, because a fiat is something that is not backed by a commodity like gold or silver, has no intrinsic value. All right, we got to keep it real. Okay, I don't care how much you want to argue upside down, left and right. All right, this is still a form of a fiat currency. The only thing that makes this better than a fiat currency is you don't have no Fed involved. You don't have no central bank. So because you've taken that equation out, this makes it not a fiat currency. But it is a fiat currency in that it has the same type of oncology as a fiat currency, if that makes any sense to you guys. Okay? So I like how someone in the chat room just said the only thing that doesn't go down is our age. Yeah, I know that's right. So I just want to, caution everybody with that. We got to keep things real. All right, no matter how sexy things look and how much money you're making in this crypto space, just keep in mind it is a market. And remember, when a market is parabolic within the bullish pattern, everybody's a genius. Everybody's bragging about how much money they're making. And then when the bear paw comes and smacks their head off, they run away. You don't hear them talk no more. They don't tell you how much money they're losing because they're still holding their positions. They don't want to talk about that. But when the market is parabolic, runaway bull market, everybody's a genius. Everybody's a trader. And like I said, the bear market comes, and now where them fools at? What you gonna do now? Oh, we're just gonna hold these positions, and as it goes down, we're gonna build. No, that is what we call adding to a losing position, and that is a no-no in trading. You do not add to losers. You cut losers and add money to winners. All right. People's true makeup, their true nature comes out when the markets turn, folks. Bear markets prove who the real traders are and who are not. All right? Can you make money in a bear market? If the answer is no, then you probably need to shut up. It's easy to build a following when a market is mad bullish and it seems like everything that you say, oh, he was right. He said it's going to go up. You're in a parabolic bull market. Of course it's going to go up. It's going to keep going up until it doesn't. Now what are you going to do? So I'm just saying, be careful. Don't fall in love with these markets. You follow the price. When the price turns, you turn with it or step aside. All right? If you don't know how to short something, then don't. Take your profits and step aside. Find something else to put your money to that's moving. If you can't find nothing, then you chill. That's how you approach these markets, people. There's going to be a lot of people getting hurt and have already gotten hurt in these cryptos. Let's do the knowledge tour real quick. Bitcoin hit $3,000. Right now, you see we gotten down to 2346. Ouch! Now, someone's going to say, oh, that's nothing. It's just a little pullback, man. It's going to go up. It's going to go way beyond 3,000. You're probably right. But then again, what if you're wrong? What if it doesn't come back up? Need I remind you that back in 2000, when the NASDAQ bubble popped, the same people said, oh, it'll come right back up. And it didn't get back up. It didn't get back up for almost 20 years. All right, so you got 20 years to wait for your money? I don't think so. People, this market has pulled back $700. Now, before you say, oh, that doesn't matter. Okay, fine. So the next time your boss gives you your paycheck, why don't you tell him, you know what, take $700 off of that and just smoke it. Roll it up and smoke it. I don't need it. Don't give it to me. No, you would pitch a fit if your paycheck was short $700. So stop tripping. All right? Right now, your paycheck just got cut $700. This is equivalent to them to the government putting a tax lien on your paycheck. All right? That's what this is. All right? They leaning on your money. You was up. When it was at 3,000. You should have had a stop loss in, and if you didn't, you played yourself because now you're at 2,300. Now you got to make a decision what you gonna do, especially if you got in when it was at 3,000. There were some people who got long at 3,000, and right now you get your face completely ripped off, pulled back to the white meat. You're bleeding out, and what are you gonna do about it? Your Litecoin. Now, last time I remember looking at this, it was in the 40s. We're at 40, 42 bucks. Now you're down to 34. Ouch. What are you going to do? Ethereum was at 400. Now it's at 227. That's practically a 50% pullback. It may be down 9% today, but it's down 50%. You got a 50% pullback, people. 50% pullback. What would you do if you went to the bank today and your checking account or your savings account has 50% less in it? Would you just walk away? Oh, it's okay. That's normal. I'm going to hold on. It'll come back. I'm sure the bank will put it back. No. You will not nonchalantly walk away like that. You'll be ready to rob and stick that place up if they don't hand over the rest of your money. So don't pretend like now all of a sudden it ain't no thing, because you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know if this is going to come back. Technical damage has been done to the chart, people. Even just looking at this 7-day graph, you can see that the bull is over. The market has topped out and now has a well-defined downtrend channel. No one wants to say it. I'll be the first to tell you. You're in a bear market. Congratulations, you're in a bear market. You're bearish, feet. You're bearish. You're bearish. What are you going to do about it? You're in a bear market now. Do you know how much ground you have to recover just to get back bullish? Your momentum is down. Your trend lines are down. Your prices are down. People, people, people. What are you going to do about it? To be married to these markets, folks. All right? Keep your mind on your money, your money on your mind. Watch your money. Speaking of money, let's change our focus a little bit to the bond market futures right now. All right, here on the daily chart, you can see it's just been straight on up, right? Now we're starting to fall off. We're rolling over now in these bonds. Pre-market, you're rolling over. Look at this 1 hour chart. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours straight. We've been falling for 6 hours straight in the bonds now. But we still high at this 156. We still high. This is still high. This is still coolly high. Let me show you the weekly chart. All right, here we are. We got up over that resistance, hugging that trend line. Still got a nice air pocket of space left to go before we enter the Kumo cloud of death. Either we're going to enter it topside and keep cutting through it, or we're going to start to elongate, stretch it out a little bit before we get up in there. And if we get up in there and here, we're going to chop, and then we're going to eventually fall down again, because this one kind of down drifts. You got downward pressure here within the elongation. See how this is a straight line on the top, but then we got these stair steps here at the bottom. That's kind of like a vent in the bottom of a pool, a drain that's sucking in water. That's what this is. It's going to just suck and pull it back down again, and we could get that back down to the 147s. The Fed would love that, because then they can raise rates 2-3 more times like they want to this year. So they are hoping that this scenario plays out. But if these bonds get powerful before we get in that cloud and we enter here, topside, we enter here instead of waiting and entering here into the vortex. If we enter in the vortex, then they get to raise those rates with no problem, so no blowback. If we enter here, it's going to be harder for them to raise those rates without blowback. So which way should we go? We don't know yet, but the bonds are looking interesting here. All right, let's take a look at your gold. Remember, everything that glitters ain't gold. All right, here we go. We came down here, we spiked to the cloud. I do remember telling you that. And now it's playing out the way I told you. For those of you who missed what I told you, go back and listen to the prior videos and you will see that I told you we're going to spike down here, and here we go. It's now getting ready to ride this coming ramp, the rampage here, and get itself back up to that 1280 level. So that's kind of the trajectory the gold is trying to follow. But believe it or not, because of the thin layer here, this thin layer is easy to cut through up and down, but sometimes you have these, for lack of a better way to say it, elements within the algorithms that sometimes make this act as a downward vortex because of the upside resistance on the trend line, and prices can smack down like they did here. You can get another bar like this, except for picture this bar turned upside down, and that's probably what's going to happen, and then it'll just be a cascading effect. And then what happens is the cloud kind of gets away from you, and then it will go into next year before we can get back above the Kumo cloud. So it's still at that crossroads. It can go out, they can cut, it can slice either way. That's where we're at right now. But all it needs to do to maintain momentum is today, if it can close above 1250, we're good to go. That's all it needs to do. All right. So this is where we are in gold. High-ho silver. Let's see what's up with this. All right. As you can see here, we got a well-defined pointer, folks. I'm so sorry. All right, let's start this segment over again. Y'all ready? Here we go. Hi, I'm Dr. Algo, capitalist. Are you the parents of silver? We did everything we can, ma'am, sir, and we lost them on the table. I'm so sorry. It's the hardest part of my job when I lose a patient. All right, I have other patients to go. I have to go now. All right, I'll holler at y'all later. Dr. Jerk. This is a pointer, people. I'm so sorry to point this out to you, pun intended. I'm pointing out the pointer to you. I think you know where we go from here. Remember what I told you in the last prior videos? I've been telling you this every day. You got mad pointers that cancel out each other but act as still support and resistance levels that attract price action. It's a complicated thing. It's a rare thing, but it does happen. Another market that this happens a lot in is the Swiss franc. Yeah, the Swiss franc can chop you to pieces at times, but this is what this is. Pointers all over the place, and they all attract price action. Every single one. But this one is key, folks. So it's about to get a lot worse before it gets a lot better. Right now, the patient is brain dead. We have no brain activity. And we're at a very critical juncture where we're going to have to keep the patient on life support. And if the patient doesn't turn around within the next 24 hours, I'm sorry, we're going to pull the plug kind of thing. That's where you are right now. This is pointing down, people. I'm so sorry to have to break it to you. But this is where we're at. So how can we cancel all of the pointers out and make them null and void? You ready? Drum roll, please. You can't. Not until price action gets back above the Kumo cloud. So sorry. That means that every negative down pointer in this situation, all right, since we're below the cloud, that's where price is headed. And there's no ands, ifs, or buts about it. I'm so sorry I have to tell you that. All right, so we lost the patient on the table right now for the bull argument. And it's going to be fighting for its life right now. There's nothing else the machines can do. All right. It's up to the patient now. If the patient's going to fight for its life, It needs to close above 1656 today, and then we have hope, because then it can probably get back up to maybe 1670 something by week's end. All right. Let's take a look at oil, because oil had a little turn on it also. All right. Let's look at the gangster market. All right, so this is the fourth day now in a row that we're working on trying to get back up to the purple line of 44, maybe even 45. If we can do it, then it's opening the door for a run back to 47 at least. And then we got the thin layer Kumo cloud that acts as a vortex. You can cut easily through it both ways, but then sometimes the algorithms sniff out either side of this, and then they counter that price action, and it acts as a vacuum. It can suck prices down or like trampoline prices back up. It's a weird thing. But anyway, you're overbought as you're getting up to this resistance level. So it's kind of weird on the crude oil right now. It needs a good story. It doesn't have one. So prices are just going to continue to head down, down, down. I think this rally is going to be sold like back here and right here. Kind of where we are right now. So we'll see. We'll give it another day and we'll see what happens. All right, let's look at one other thing here real quick. Hold on one second. Okay, so let's continue here. As you can see, we are going to switch our focus to the natural gas real quick. All right. As you can see here, it's trying to make that run toward the 308 and hitting some real powerful resistance. Hourly chart, we've already rolled over. On the 4-hour chart, same thing, rolling over. But on the hour, you got this nice staircase. No, you don't. On the intraday charts, none of these technicals rule. It only rules on the weekly and the daily charts. And you can see right here on this weekly chart, bottom left-hand side of your screen, we are well in the Kumo cloud. So prices are going to chop. On the daily chart, you can tell we're looking like we're hitting some resistance. Right here looks like we're about to fall off a cliff. And I think we're about to head lower here. The only good news on the chart is we just need to close about 298 and we can possibly carry over another day or two of momentum and maybe get closer to the bottom of this Kumo cloud here. And that'll get you into the teens maybe. All right, so that's about it. But it's under pressure, folks. Look at this. What are you going to do with that? Your downtrend channel is in full effect. So we'll see. A lot of these markets are in crossroads right now. Let's look at that NASDAQ for a minute. NASDAQ 100 is looking interesting on the daily chart. We're still trading basically within this bar. That's what it boils down to, okay? We're trading within this bar. And you can see prices are still trading within the bar. Got a ramp coming up on the daily. And then here on the weekly, you can see we got super rampage coming up. NASDAQ is not done yet. And I think that we are going to get into the 6,000 range by the end of the year. Just like I said, I'm holding to that. And we'll probably do it well before the end of the year. But NASDAQ's still bullish, people, in every way, shape, and form. All right, so that's all I got for now. So with that being said, remember, bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. So remember to take what you can and give nothing back. And real quick, I just want to touch on the new readouts on your sheet. And you will notice that now we have added a couple of thingies here for you real quick. You're going to notice a few more numbers on here. I try to simplify it so you can read it easy. The 11, of course, is long-term momentum, and a 3 under your, we're talking about the positive and negative momentum columns. 11 is long-term momentum, 3 is your short-term momentum. You're also going to see a 33 and a 32. A 33 is under the positive momentum column is a continuation within the bullish pattern. A 32 under the positive momentum is a correction or pullback within the bullish pattern. Same thing on the negative momentum side. A 33 is a continuation of the bearish pattern, and a 32 is a pullback or retracement within the bearish pattern. All right, so that's what that's there for. All right, so that is the only thing that I added. And what I did too is I put the 11s also in the uptrend and downtrend side as well, so you can tell when and if momentum has shifted. So let's go through a quick example real quick. Let's choose one. All right, let's look at one that has it in it. Let's see. Let me pick one. Oh, okay. And under the uptrend and downtrend columns too, we added 78. 78 is parabolic. That means that the bullish or bearish trend has gone parabolic in that direction, whether or not you can see it manifest on your chart. Remember, everything is pulled from the algorithms. So the algorithms won't necessarily match up with what you see on your chart. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. All right, so keep that in mind. But a 78 is a parabolic situation. So if we look at today's in play, we see that the euro currency and copper, AMD, the Australian dollar, Broadridge Financial Solutions, let's see, the REIT, the REIT cone, the Australian dollar equity side, FXA, another REIT, HQH, the Russell IWM, another REIT, the REIT ETF IYR, MyGen, the NASDAQ exchange itself, ticker NDAQ, Nintendo, NTDOY, and the XIV, and the XLV, which is the healthcare sector. All of these are in a bull trend, but they're parabolic within that bull trend. They're just running away to the upside. They got mad pent-up bullish energy in them. All right? So that's what that means. All right, any other questions about how to read the sheet? It should be mad simple for you now. I simplified everything. So you can just look at something and just boom, within seconds know exactly what's going on. Like, for instance, we mentioned cone. Notice how cone has a 39 under the positive momentum, so you know institutional money is operating on the bull side. You also have a crash alert, a 9/11 crash alert under your negative momentum that may or may not play out. So in other words, what you're going to do, you notice how the system has broadened the entry and the stop loss. You see how tight that is? You're going to want to respect that, which means that if you are currently long, you're going to use that stop to liquidate. If you are flat and you're looking at, and let's say you don't have anything going, then you may want to consider selling it short at that stop loss, okay? Because remember, these stops mean a whole lot. These are key triggers within the intraday space. Yeah, I was warning everybody about the cryptos. The question is, they missed the beginning. Can you quickly review the crypto space? Yes. Basically, I was just showing and demonstrating how the cryptos are just in a huge bear market right now. All right, they've topped out. All right, so when you have these short-term tops, you know, it could take a while to get back up again. And right now, whether people want to address it or not, they are bearish. And in a bear market, what do? If we buy any kind of bear market rallies, we're quick and nimble to take profit and get back short again. So I was explaining that if you were long in any of these cryptos, unless you got in and when it was a penny, you should be taking profit now. So yeah, you're going to definitely want to go back and listen to the beginning of this, because I go into depth on that one. Yeah, anytime you're buying dips, you want to be careful in a bear market anyway. In a bull market, you can buy dips all day long, but the issue is we're no longer in a bull market. In the coinage, I like to call it the coinage. We don't have any bull indicators in the coinage at this time. All right, we are no longer in a bull market in the coinage. As a matter of fact, if you look at the sheet, Bitcoin is in a full-blown retracement, and we have a 52 under the uptrend column. Number 52 is full-blown retracement. So we're in a full-blown retracement, and you're locked in on the longer-term momentum on the negative side under the downtrend column. And you got a 32. So in other words, any uptick you see is going to be sold. So that's all I'm saying. And if you look at where the price trigger is on the long side of the Bitcoin on the sheet, we're nowhere near it. So she has a long way to go. Every Bitcoin security on the sheet you will see is either in a full-blown retracement or we straight up bear market. You should have been short in cryptos, absolutely. See, that's what I was saying. If all you did was follow the price triggers on the sheet, there'll be no question. The price triggers get you in and out on the right side of the market. That's what they do without any technicals. You don't even need technicals. If you were just following the price action on the sheet, following the price triggers, you would have already been triggered short long ago. And you'd be asked, the question you'd be asking me right now is, should I be taking profit on my shorts and looking to get long again? That should be that's the real question. Because the system has been locked in on this side telling you for a minute. Like for instance, just look at the Bitcoin itself. If you go back a few sheets ago, it told you, we triggered short a long time ago. I told you guys about taking profit days ago. When it hit that 3,000, I was begging everybody to look to get out and take profit. And I told you, if you want to be conservative, remember I said put your stops around that 2,800 level. Remember I said that? So you would have stopped in reverse back doing what was it, 2,800. So, you know, and I always get a chance to make a video, but when I do, I try to make it worth something. I try to say as much as I can in a shorter period of time, so you guys can, you know, be abreast of what's going on. Just like I posted the other day that I got out of the BTSC. Remember, I posted that. And then the question was, well, why did you get out? And the answer is because I'm being true to the algorithm. I'm following the sheet. Remember where the stop was on the sheet? Well, if you had your stop in, and following the sheet, you'd have been stopped out. And rightfully so. With a very small loss. A small loss. And we was trading mad shares. I went hard body karate on the BTSC. I'm not even gonna lie. I went hard body karate. With my money and my clients' money. That's another thing too. You know, I eat my own cooking. I can't say that for the other people on YouTube. I eat my cooking. I trade with real money. You know what I'm saying? So I use my money, and I'm not gonna put my clients in something I don't put myself in. If when I post that I'm getting long something, I'm getting long. You know, that's just how it is. And I tell you, I'm getting long from the sheet. And then when you see that price trigger, you know I'm in the market. All right, knick-knack paddywhack is the question. Let's see. I haven't done nothing in knick-knack paddywhack in a minute because she ain't been doing nothing. Right now she's sitting at 143. Let me see what the sheet say. I don't even think that was on my shopping list. Yeah, she's not on the shopping list. She's not on the shopping list. Nah. Nah. And y'all remember my rule too. I do not short stocks under $5. Y'all remember my rule. I don't do it. And I sure enough don't ever short no penny stock. The only way I would ever short a penny stock is if the penny stock traded like a commodity futures contract, 24 hours a day, and I could and accepted all order types. If it traded like the NASDAQ or the emini S&P 500 futures contract and accepted all order types 24 hours a day, then I could short a penny stock. Absolutely, I would short it. I could do that because then I have full access to the market at all times, and they take all order types. One of the reasons why you can't short penny stocks is because they don't trade 24 hours a day, and they don't take all order types. So that makes, trading it from that perspective impossible. You know what I mean? And a lot of these don't have pre-market trading or extended hours trading. So you just blind. It could gap up $1 million the next day. If you shorted it from 50 cents and then it gaps up to $1 million and know it's not a reverse stock split, you're dead. So that's why you don't short penny stocks. It's stupid, it's ridiculous, and foolish, and all those other acronyms and synonyms I can think of. All right. So with that being said, nah, I'm not in the NAC. I'm watching the NAC. I'm watching the dry ships. I am not personally long NAC or dry ships. I got a few clients that are in that, but that's about it. I think dry ships, yeah. The only thing I'm holding is dry ships. I don't have anybody long NAC. I'm not long NAC either right now. I'm watching it though. That dry ships though, I ain't gonna lie. I'm thinking about because I already have all my clients in it. I never got in it personally, but I'm thinking about possibly getting in it. I just want to hold something. Only because at some point I believe something's going to happen with that dry ships. It's going to do one of those radical moves it did not long ago. Remember, it jumped up like $100. Remember that? So because it has the potential to do that, it also has the potential to go to zero. But because it has potential to do that, I figure that it's a good idea just to hold a couple shares in your back pocket. No big deal. If it goes to zero, you're not looking stupid because you didn't have a hard body karate position. You just had a couple shares only because of that potential. But if it ever gets down to like a penny stock and trades pennies like that, then I will go and I will straight up do a personal hard body karate position and just hold it. Only because we know the potential of these. Some of these stocks are just like that, where I don't want to say they're heavily manipulated, but they're scary stocks. All you have to do is sneeze in their direction and they'll go into cardiac arrest, or they'll jump through the roof because you scared them, because you snuck up behind them and said boo, and then they just jump right out of their shoes through the roof. You know what I'm saying? So certain aspects, you always have one of those things. All right, so with that said, any more questions? I'm looking around. I don't think anything's going to happen. Oh, here's something interesting, guys. GBTC now is up $8.20. So it's trying to bounce off of yesterday's lows, but then look at BTSC. It's hitting new lows. See why I told you to get out? And I'm looking at your FFMGF. It's trying to rally. I did put on positions for the FFMGF. I'm just waiting for fills. I used the entry point from yesterday's sheet. You guys remember I told you that. So, and I put it in as an open order. So, it's a good till cancel. So, and the entry price has not changed. So I'm just waiting, because chances are if it comes to my price, you know what I'm saying, if it reaches down to me, then it should run from there because that is a key price inflection point according to the algorithm. So we should really see something nice come out of that. At the end of the day, if they're successful in pumping in this stock, the goal is to be out before they dump it. And I already got a plan for that. I know how to beat the pumper and dumpers at their own game too, just so you know. Even on these stocks that, you know, don't have pre-market trading or end of day, what I do, I'll tell you guys off, you know, off air in the trading room. I'll tell you what we do. There's a way to insulate and protect yourself and rob them, line them up for their money. That's what we do as pirates. We line the you know, the hucksters up and take their money. That's what we do. So they think they pumping and dumping something. While they pumping it, we in there, and then we get the heck out, and then let them dump on the idiots who are greedy and don't want to take profit. So I take profit. I already trained you guys. You know how I get down. I go home with money every day. That's what I do. I do not let a Friday pass me by that I don't go home with some money. I take profits. And even if I'm up in a trade and it don't look right, don't feel right, don't smell right, or if it look at me wrong, I'm smacking it. And that's what I do. Why you get out? I ain't like the way he looked at me. So I smack the trade. That's what I do. And that's what I want y'all to learn how to do too. Just be robotic with it. Let it be like a reflex. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody sneak up behind you and tap you on your shoulder and you just go pow! Right in the jaw. That's how you gotta be. Yo, why you do that? He snuck up on me. I didn't know what that was. All right, you gotta act like you in the hood and somebody just rolled up on you. That's how you gotta treat these markets. If it don't feel right, it don't look right, smack them, get out. All right, that's how we do. Black Ops Pirates, baby. All right, any other questions? And just so you guys know too, I'll be hanging around for a little bit, but then I'm leaving. I'm going out of town, so I will not be around until later on today. I'll be back later on today. All right, any other questions? Anybody? Everybody understand the sheet? And my shopping list, like I said, has not changed. I just put the thing on for the FFG. That's about it. Everything else kind of is in flux to me right now, so I'm just watching and waiting. I think we're still kind of like in a sideways mode, like I showed you in the charts segment a few minutes ago. It's just nothing really just speaking to me at the moment. Oh, but there is something I'm about to do. I just reminded myself. I will post it in the room. I'm not going to say it on the thing here. But there is something I'm about to do, and I'm going to show you guys what I mean. Put a little money in the pocket. Excuse me. So I'll hook you up with that, and you guys can follow along if you want. This was something that a client of old put me onto, and it worked. It worked pretty good. So I'm going to show it to you guys, and you tell me what you think. All right, with that being said, remember, bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. So remember to take what you can and give nothing back. I'll see you guys in the trading room. Peace.